Okay, pay attention, everyone, because we will start our third topics of this day. Okay, we will start our third topics for this day now. Maybe you have to get your seat back. Well, thank you. So welcome back again to the third topic lecturer session of this day at the seventh forestry summer course with the team managing forestry landscapes and forest dependent communities to bridge the future, learning across governance strategy. Commence our activities. So the third topics, which will be present there, is about managing community led landscape reconstruction damage by the northern Kyushu torrential rain disaster lesson from Japan, which will be presented by Professor Dr. Takahiro Fujiwara from Kyushu University and moderated by Mr. Akmal Nurjihad, Bachelor of Forestry and Master of Science. Before we really gonna proceed to the presentation and the Q&A session, I would like to give you a reminders again that in we have 60 minutes for presentation and 30 minutes for question and answer session. So before we proceed to the presentation session, allow me to introduce briefly about Mr. Takahiro Fujiwara. So Mr. Takahiro Fujiwara is an associate professor at the Laboratory Forest Policy Faculty of Agriculture, Kyushu University, Japan. He is also a researcher at the Social Forestry Research Center in the Faculty of Forestry, Gajah Mada University. His specialized fields are forest policy and social forestry. He earned a PhD in agriculture in 2012 from Kyushu University. When he was a PhD student, he studied in Faculty of Forestry UGM through a student exchange program for about 3 years. He has many research experiences in Indonesia. His reason for his policy across countries with different political economies. He tries to answer the question by comparing forest policies across countries with different political economies. And also, he is expanding his research area from Indonesia to Southeast Asia and South Asian countries in collaboration with international students and also alumni from Vietnam, Myanmar, Laos, Cambodia, and also Bangladesh. Well, our moderator today that already attend in front of all of the participants is Mr. Akmal Nur Jihad, Bachelor of Forestry and Master of Science. So Mr. Akmal currently contributes the recent projects such as silvopasture for dairy goat farm in Purworejo, Central Java, Indonesia, and also he has a publication. One of them is agroforestry catalog documenting traditional agroforestry practices in Indonesia, and also he got achievements in 2016. Mr. Akmal got social research grant of students creativity program by Ministry of Research Technology and Higher Education Republic Indonesia at Temajuk village between Indonesia and Malaysia. So without further ado, please welcome Mr. Takahiro Fujiwara and also Mr. Akmal to present and to start the third topics about forest and forest in Japan production, conservation challenges, and social forestry.
Check. Yeah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. As mentioned before, I'm the same person the previous session, right? So just redundant introducing. And then for this session, we have an amazing speaker, Professor Takahiro Fujiwara from Kyushu, and he is also a researcher at the Social Forestry Research Center. And then for this session, actually, there is a change for the topic title, and you can see in the page. Topic for this session is forest and forest in Japan. So we can deep dive into Professor Taka experience in Japan, and then we can ask about how the experience in Indonesia, because he is also graduate from horrible. Please welcome Professor Taka.
Thank you very much for your introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. So, do you enjoy summer course? So today, I want to talk to you about forest and forestry in Japan. So I conduct research in Russia and some Southeast Asian countries, and also in Japan. That's why today I want to share my experience comparing some countries of forest management. So yeah, she already introduced myself. My name is Takahiro Fujiwara. In Japan, I am Fujiwara Sensei. So Fujiwara is my family name, and Sensei is teacher. So my Japanese student called me Fujiwara Sensei. But in Indonesia, I am called Pa Taka. Taka is a very simple name, and Pa is a Mister. So my Indonesian student and Indonesian professor just call me Taka. So you can call me Pa Taka is no problem. So I am a professor in laboratory of forestry, Kyushu University. At the same time, I am also researcher in the Social Forestry Research Center in Faculty of Forestry. So my major is forest policy and social forestry. So this is a picture of my laboratories. So today, the Junna-san and Saoru-san is coming from my laboratory. But in addition to Japanese students, our laboratory has the students from various countries, including Laos, Myanmar, Vietnam, and Indonesia, China, Mexico. So our laboratory has the multicultural atmospheres. So I always enjoy the discussion with a student from various countries. So this is pictures of field works. So this is a picture when I visit Nusa Tenggara province with my student to know the Futan adult customary forest. So how the local people manage the forest in the Nusa Tenggara island with the customary forest. So we want to know it. That's why we go to the Nusa Tenggara island. And also this picture is he's a village head. So we interviews with village head while we ate the coconut fruits. So this is our research. That's why I often stayed in the villager's house during my field research. So this is pictures. So when I conducted in the Gunung Kidul district. So maybe next week we will visit Wanagama University Forest located in Gunung Kidul. So Gunung Kidul is one of my study site for PhD thesis. So I studied about community forest, Futan riot. So how people plant, manage, and harvest the trees of Futan riots. So during the field work, so I stayed in the villager's house, and so sometimes I also joined the preparation of the festival. So they speak Japanese, not Bahasa Indonesia. So that's why they are also a teacher of Japanese. I understand some words of Japanese, Bahasa Java. So I'm also the alumni of the faculty of forestry in Japan University. So this is the picture where I studied here. So 15 years ago. So some of my friends also become the lecturer in Gajah University. She's Eve Fanny, Dr. Fanny. She's my classmate. But now she's also a lecturer in the Department of wood engineering in this faculty. So she's also the lecturer. So I had two professors from Japan and Indonesia. So one professor is Professor Sato. in Kyushu University, and another professor is the Professor SriRahayu in the Faculty of Forestry. That's why I got the guidance from both professors, Indonesia and Japan. And Professor Awan also will deliver the presentation, give class during summer course. He is a specialist of social forestry. So I learned many things from Professor Awan. So not the Indonesia, but also sometimes they came to Japan, and we went to the private forest to see how the people manage the forests. So this is my graduation. So unfortunately, I forgot to bring my Japanese costume. But when my graduation ceremony, so I wear the Japanese costume. So now Yogyakarta is like my second hometown. So so I like to stay in Yogyakarta. And I think that maybe you have not yet been to the Malioboro street, so Jalan Malioboro. This is like the center downtown of Jakarta. And at the Saturday night, Malam Minggu. So many people go to the Malioboro street and enjoy the shopping and eating. So please go to the Malioboro street next Saturday. Also, Yogyakarta have many food. So this is like Maru. So yesterday, we went to already went to the Mataram street to hunt some street food. But there are many the delicious food around the campus. So if you like the spicy food, I suggest you to go to Muscovis. Maybe the UGM student know the Muscovis. So they offer the very delicious spicy food. So please try. Okay, so let's start the today's class. So firstly, I want to talk to you about the overview the forestry in Japan. But I want to start with forestry in Indonesia because now we are here in Indonesia. So by the way, do you know the overview of forest management in Indonesia? So how many percent of forests belong to state land or forest cover? So do you know such basic information of forest management in Indonesia? This is a map of Indonesia, and now we are here, Yogyakarta in Javaland. So this map shows where forests are. So the colored area is a state forest in Indonesia. So about 70% of the territory of Indonesia is state forest called Kawasan Hutan. Kawasan is area and Hutan is forest. About 70% of the national forest of Indonesia is state forest. That's why state forest management is very important in Indonesia to achieve the sustainable society. But this state forest is determined or decided by government according to the forestry law in 1999. So it means not only ecologically, but also politically, the state forests in Indonesia are decided by government. That's why the scholar called the state forest in Indonesia political. So it means state forest is decided by political. So there are three types of the forest in Indonesia: conservation forest, protection forest, and production forest. The conservation forest is a forest area with typical characteristic with main function to conserve biodiversity and ecosystem. Therefore, some national park is located in the conservation forest. So protection forest is a forest area with its main function to protect life buffer system, to arrange water management, prevent flood, erosion, prevent water installation, and maintain the land fertility. So production, main purpose of production forest is production. And so production forest have the three types: the limited production forest, permanent production forest, and convertible production forest. So in Sumatra Island and Kalimantan Island, there are so many agricultural large-scale plantation like the palm oil. So the oil plantation were established after converting the state of converting the convertible production. So in about the 60% of forests are for productions. So yeah, let's back to the topic on Japan. So firstly, so I want to know, so I want to ask you, so what is the image of Japan's forest? So I know so some students have been to Japan, so yeah, maybe so they know the forest in Japan. But I think so many students have never been to Japan. So what kind of image do you have for Japanese forest? Do you have some idea? Or there are many forests or no forests? Or
Dr. Taka, for me, the image of the forest in Japan is, I can imagine it's a kind of nut forest like other countries like Indonesia. In Japan, the forest would be just like a kind of trees, small trees. And for me, I'm from Pakistan, so we also have big forests like Indonesia and Bangladesh. So Japan, I would say it's not a forest, it's a kind of small place. In some trees in might be they called it forest or jungle, because Japan is like more like advanced in more constructions. So yeah, that's what I think, and that's what is in my mind. Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, well, I have learned, have never been to Japan, but one of my lecturers in back in my university, he taught me about the process of timber making, producing in Japan is very good, and I really like the technologies in the process. Yeah, thank you.
thank you very much, answer. So yeah, now so I want to introduce the forest in Japan. So yeah, Japan is I think one of the country with good forest. And Japan have 25 million hectares of forest composed of 15 million hectares of natural forest and 10 million hectares of plantations. So about 70% of natural land of Japan is covered by forest. So Japan have the much forest riches. And also, yeah, Japan is a long country stretching from the north part to the south part. That's why so this geographical condition creates various type of forest. So I mean, so that if we go to the north part, Hokkaido, so we can see the sub-boreal forest. But in central parts, so the forests are so the temperate forest. So if we go to the south part, so we can see the subtropical forest. That's why so the Japan has the various type of forest. Also, yeah, Japan has the 5 world natural heritage. So Shiretoko, the north part, the Shirakami Sanchi, the Tohoku Park here, and the Ogasawara Islands, Yakushima, the south part of Kyushu Island, and Amami Okinawa. So yeah, if we go to the Yakushima Island, so we can see the very old Japanese cedar trees, the age more than 1,000 years old. So yeah, we can see the very old trees in Yakushima Island. Also, Japan have the 34 national parks from the north part to the south part. So here, I want to show the short video that introduce a national park in Japan.
At Japan's national parks, you will encounter Japanese charm you never knew existed. Ise-shima National Park. Ise Grand Shrine boasts a 2,000-year-old history. You can enjoy shopping, an eating tour, sea kayaking, and more. Then feel special with first-class hospitality. Hokkaido's Akan-Mashu National Park. The must-see spot in winter is the sparkling blue lake. Take an early morning stroll, and you may even get to meet some local wildlife. Nikko National Park. Here, visitors can behold the beautiful architecture of World Heritage listed Nikko Toshoku. The autumn leaves are immensely popular. In winter, make the most of activities in the great outdoors. Towada Hachimantai National Park, the beautiful frozen world of soft frost. After some fantastic winter sports activities, soothe your body and soul by soaking in a milky white hot spring and treat your appetite to first-rate cuisine. Kirishima Kinkowan National Park, a place to directly sense the Earth's power through volcanoes and hot springs. Dig a little hole in the seashore and make yourself a mini hot spring. Daisen-Oki National Park. Daisen was chosen as one of Japan's top 100 mountains and is suitable for climbing, even for beginners. Then, at Oki Island's mysterious scenery will no doubt leave you amazed. Asokuji National Park. Cycle through various natural settings, including a landscape resembling a hell, a star-filled sky, or a high-altitude grassy plain. Kerama Islands National Park, the beautiful blue sea, is home to many forms of life, from tiny fish to whales. Here you can also witness up close a little part of history from the good old days. Welcome to Japan's national parks, where amazement and enjoyment are guaranteed.
Japan has various types of national park with different the environmental climate conditions. Also, the Japanese land is characterized as precious national land. So it means that Japan has many mountain and hilly lands. So that's why in Japan, the word of forest is same. So when people go to mountains, so it means to go to forest. So that's why when I came to Indonesia at the first time, I saw the forest growing the plain land in Java Islands. So I was very surprised because the trees are growing on flat land. But in Japan, so many forests are located in the mountains. So that's why only the 27.6% of the are flat. And those land are used for the industry or settlement. That's why many forests are located in the hilly land mountain. So this picture is from the Indonesia. I visit to see the micro hydro generation project in West Java province. At the time, the local people conducting the slash and burn agriculture. So So now, today, so I think some students from the Thailand and Malaysia. I think so that in Malaysia, Thailand, the local people still keep the behavior of slash and burn agriculture especially in the mountainous areas. So how about Japan? So that here, so I want to show the short video of the slash and burning in Japan.
The 5 towns and villages in the northwestern part of Miyazaki Prefecture are known as the Takahiro Shibayama site and was registered as a globally important agricultural heritage system in December of 2015. Come and see the charms of Shiba Village, such as their acclaimed slash and burn agriculture. The globally important agricultural heritage system is a project that was started by the Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations. The objective of the project is to protect and conserve agricultural systems, such as traditional farming techniques, methods of maintaining biodiversity, and outstanding cultures and landscapes, and pass them on to the next generation. Slash and burn agriculture of Shiba Village is highly regarded by the globally important agricultural heritage systems. Compared to slash and burn methods of mountainous areas in Southeastern Asia, a small area is burned at once and in patches. Furthermore, the crops are rotated over a period of 3 to 4 years, and the field is given a long fallow period to restore the forest. The slash and burn method of Shiba Village has a minimal effect on the surrounding wildlife and helps conserve the lush forests. Let us take a look at the work being carried out. First, the undergrowth and bamboo on the mountain are slashed. This process is known as yabokiri, and the fields are burned in August. Dead bamboo and grass surrounding the area are removed to prevent the fire from spreading. Before the burning, they recite prayers to the god of the mountains.
これよりこの藪に火を入れも蛇枠道を見つけられるもそうに立ちの捕まえ山の神様火の神様どうぞ火の余らぬよまた焼け残りのないよ本守りやって守ります
The burning has started. The fire starts from the top of the mountain. Then, the fire is lit as to encircle the field. The flames crawl across the mountain. As smoke rises and sparks fly, the area is engulfed with hot air. The fire moves towards the center of the field. As the flames gain momentum, a strong updraft occurs. After the flames gather at the center, they die out from this updraft. The mountain is covered in ashes. Buckwheat seeds get planted on the same day. After planting seeds, bamboo leaves are used to even out the ground. After a while, it starts to rain. Rain after the burning is ideal. The buckwheat is harvested the same year. Then a kind of millet is cultivated in the second year, azuki beans the third year, and soybeans the fourth year. Following that, the land is laid to rest for 25 to 30 years to return it to a forest. And once the land has regained its strength, the field is burned yet again. This is a cyclical farming method that uses no fertilizer or pesticide and is perfect for the mountains.
This is a slash and burning agriculture in Yakihata. We call it Yakihata. So the yaki is meaning is yaki is burning, and hata is a field in Japanese. So we also have the slash and agriculture.
Display.
And in the past, so the Yakihata slash and agriculture is was common in the many mountains.
Recording in progress.
And so the Yakihata is very important for the local farmers to provide the food. So the Yakihata is important. But the practice was carried out across Japan until about the 1950s. So Kyushu University has the three university forests, and one of them is located in this Shiba village. That's why, so that if you are interested in the Japanese Yakihata, so the Japanese slash ban agriculture, so that we welcome your visit to the my university forest. So please come. You can stay the Miyazaki University forest. So now, so let's move on to the aspect of production. So this pie chart shows the forest ownership in Japan. So now, so that I think so that many there are so many students coming from the Southeast Asian country, and I think so that many forests are belonging to the national. But in Japan, so that as this pie chart shows, the many forests are the private forests. So private forest is the private forest is a forest created, managed, and harvested by the people. So in Japan, so that about 60% of forests are belonging to the people's communities. So that's why, so this the figure shows forestry management entities. So the green color is individual entity. That's why, so the many forests are managed by the individual entities, means of people in Japan. So the people are main actor in forest management in Japan. And so this the figure shows the number of forest farmers and its areas. So blue bar means so the areas. So the light blue area is the meaning so the area between the 1 and 10 hectares. So in Japan, so the many the forest farmers have only the forest less than 10 hectares. So this number is how to say compared to the Java. So in Java, the average of forest is the 0.25 or 0.5 hectares, so very small in Java Islands. But compared to the Java Island, Indonesia, so the Japanese forest farmer has a larger. But compared to the European country or America, so this area is very small. That's why so the in the how to say global perspective, so the Japanese forest ownership is small scale ownership. So here so I want to show again the small scale private forest management in Japan. So they are farmers. Owned by manage their forest by themselves and harvest by themselves. And this the figure shows domestic land wood production. And in Japan, so the sugi, Japanese cheddar, and hinoki, Japanese cypress, are major species of plantation in Japan. So we have the two major species. And this is the sugi, Japanese cheddar tree. So the trees like this, and this is the timbers. It's timbers. So this is one of the examples of the plantation of sugi in Oguni town in Kumamoto Prefecture. So these forests also are so the private forest owned by the community, Bhutan Riot in Japan. So this is a hinoki, the Japanese cypress. The color of timber is like more white color than Japanese cedar, sugi. And in Japan, some people prefer to use the hinoki timber to make the bathroom. So this is a bath made of hinoki. So if you can go to the hot spring, so you can enjoy the hinoki bath in Japan. And this chart shows the domestic groundwood production in the areas. So today, we come from the Kyushu Island, and Kyushu Island is one of the places where the forestry, so timber production is active in Japan. So this is a timber distribution from private forests. Japan. So let's move on to the next topic, conservation. So in Japan, we have some laws related to the conservation. So at the highest levels, we have the Forest and Forestry Act in the 2001, and this is a decorative law. So it means this law declare how Japan manage and use the forest. So this the law provides the principle of forest management. So under this, the Forest and Forestry law, so we have the Forest Act and the Natural Park Act and the Nature Conservation. The Forest Park Act is under jurisdiction of the Forest Agency, Ministry of Agriculture. On the other hand, the Natural Park Act and the Nature Conservation Act are jurisdiction of the Ministry of Environment. So so Forest Act defines the 70 types of protection forests. So in Indonesia, Indonesia has maybe only one Futan Lindung protection forest, but Japan has the 70 types of protection forest, from the watershed protection forest and just scenic beauty protection forest. So two time limitations. So today, I cannot explain all, but I pick up some protection forests. So here, I think no snow, but Japan have the protection forest to reduce the snow damage in the northern part. Attracting fish protection forest is to help fish to inhabit and reproduce by projecting the shadow of the forest on the water surface, supplying nutrients to fish and preventing water pollution. That's why, in Japan, the fisher plant the trees in the mountain area to protect their fish resources. Also, we have the public health protection forest, and this forest is to contribute to public health and sanitation through the function of forest as providing places for recreation and rest, mitigating local weather conditions, and filtering dust, salt, and smoke. And the scenic beauty protection forest is the forest to preserve plant landscapes such as famous places and historic sites when they are buried by the forest. So one of the example is the Arashiyama in Kyoto. So the Arashiyama have the beautiful landscape. And if we go to the Arashiyama on spring season, so that we can see the many sakura blossom, cherry blossom. And if we go to Arashiyama on autumn season, so that we can see the very colored leaves. So the Arashiyama is a very one of the famous place. But the Arashiyama is also the one of the protection, the scenic beauty protection forest. Also, we have Japan have the natural park acts, not national, natural park acts. The natural park act purpose to contribute to health, recreation, and increase awareness of cities, and to contribute to biodiversity by protecting excellent natural scenic areas and promoting the utilization of. So this natural park act defines three types of natural parks. So national parks and outstanding natural scenic areas that is distinguished enough to represent the scenery of Japan. And the second one is Kyushu National Park. Kyushu National Park is an natural scenic area that is equivalent to a national park. And the last one is the prefecture natural parks. So Japan has 7 prefectures, so Kappaten. And the prefectural natural park is excellent natural scenic area designated by the prefectural ordinance. So this is an example of my prefecture, in my prefecture, Fukuoka. So the Fukuoka has the 1 national park and 3 Kyushu National Park and the 5 prefectural natural park. And the area is about 80% of prefecture area of Fukuoka. So in Japan, as you already know, many forests are belonging to private. So that's why the national park also have the characteristic that the Japan have the regional national natural park system. Because Japan is a small yet dense populated country. That's why the Japan have to has managed and used land for various purposes, for industry, the agriculture, so the many purposes. So to me, it is very difficult to designate large areas for national park use exclusion. That's why Japan designates the national park land such as such regardless of land owner. So this pie chart shows the ownership of the forest and the national park. So about 26% of the national coming from the private land. That's why Also, the cooperative management model that relies on collaboration among a wide range of parties is essential for protection and use of the natural environment in Japan. So it's based on the collaboration among stakeholders is very important to conserve natural resources in Japan. So this is one of the examples. So Iseshima National Park, over 90% of this national park is composed of private. So many they are private. So the next law is Nature Conservation Act. So the purpose of this law is to make it possible for citizens in general to enjoy the benefit of the natural environment and for future citizens to inherit those benefits by comprehensively promoting appropriate conservation of the natural environment. So we have the conservation area according to the Nature Conservation Act, but the area of natural park are not included in the area of nature conservation areas. So Japan has three types of nature conservation area. The first one is wilderness areas. So wilderness area is the area that preserves or maintains its original characteristic ecosystem without any influence of human activities. So preserve the environment. So that's why those areas are protected strictly, including the entry restriction. So that's why all are the state or prefecture owned lands, because it is very difficult to in coordinating with private. So this is a case of the wilderness area in Yakushima. And Yakushima has the World Natural Heritage Sites, this red line, national park, and so the wilderness area. So purple ones. Purple one is the wilderness areas. So center of Yakushima Island. The second one is nature conservation area. And this area is that preserve and maintains its variable natural ecosystem characterized by the following criteria, such as alpine and sub-alpine vegetation, variable natural forest, and river lakes. So following these criteria. So this area is designated by the Ministry of Environment and can be designated even for private forest. But Oliver private forest is designated in Sasagamine in Ehime Prefecture. The last one is prefectural nature conservation areas. So this area is that preserve and maintains variable natural environment at the prefecture level, but does not include many areas. So these areas are designated by the prefectural governance based on the prefectural nature conservation ordinance. So relatively small natural areas are also eligible. So Japan has the three types of nature conservation area according to nature conservation. So then, also I want to introduce some aspect, social aspect of conservation. So this figure shows the traditional use of nature in rural village in Japan. So in Japan, here is a settlement of the village, and so in Japan, around the house settlements, the people have the space called niwas. So niwa is like a garden. So the Karagan in Indonesia. So they use the area for the walkway. And outside of niwa, so that they have the space of nora. So usually cultivate the vegetables in nora. So when they go to the agricultural activities, local people say that we go to nora shigoto. Nora means the nora and shigoto works, nora works, agricultural activities, farming. So outside of the noras, they have the nobe, and nobe is used for the tea and mulberry cultivation. And the satoyama, here is satoyamas. So Satoyama is the often owned by the village, so the communal land village. So in past, the local people often go to Satoyama to collect the firewood and grass for agriculture. At the time, Satoyama was very important the local people's life. Then, so the outside of Satoyama, so the people have the space called Okuyama. So Okuyama is like a space for beasts, for wild animals. That's so the local people often go this space for the wildlife. Then, so the outside of the Okuyamas, so the local people have the space called Dake. So Dake is the area for lot of people, for the gods of spirits. So this is one of the example in Yakushima. So the Yakushima people still keep the ritual event called Takemairi. So every year, so the local people climb the mountain to center of the island, and also pray in the mountain. So Take. Also, I think so some students like to watch the animation. So I have. So that's why some the participant student may know this animation. So Princess Mononoke. So this is the stage of this animation is the Satoyama and Dake. So the people interpret the Okuyama and Dake to develop, to collect the firewood to make iron for blacksmith. That's why it's like a conflict between the people and the animal and gods. So this is like a motif of the this area. So Dake and Okuyama, so people interpret. So now, so Satoyama is recognized as the sustainable use of natural resources. Then, so the Japanese government promotes the international partnership for the Satoyama initiatives. This is like a partnership made up hundreds of members, organizations dedicated to working together to realize society in harmony with nature. And so now, so about 300 organizations is joining this Satoyama initiatives. So on their website, so they provide the case studies, so including the Indonesia, Thailand, and the countries where so the student is coming to this summer course. So it is also interesting and useful to discuss the observation using these case studies across countries. Then, so today, so due to time limitation, so finally, so I want to talk about some challenges in forest management. So the first one is damage to wildlife. So today, so the Junra-san, Iwano-san, so they're coming, joining this summer course, and her research topic is the wildlife management. So she's studying about deer control. So Japan, so now, so there are so many deers, and so it is very difficult to control the population of deers. And deer often eat the sheep and the trees after people plant. So in forest management in Japan, how so can we control the number of deer is one of the critical the challenge in forest management in Japan. So this is one of the problem. So this picture is coming from our university forest in Miyazaki. So you can see, so there are no under vegetation because of deer eat grass, so no vegetation this forest. And the second one is the improper management in private forest. So this pie shows the cost reforestation per 1 hectare. So in Japan, so the cost of forest management is very expensive. So I think so the people must plant trees again, but they have to pay the cost ground preparation, 300. This is like a rupiah and yen. So that now 1 yen is 105 the rupiahs. So the means so the 310,000 yen for the ground preparation, seedlings, same, planting, so the 280,000 yen weeding, so cutting grass, 870,000 yen, improving cutting, so the thinning, so they must pay the, they have to pay many costs to after to plant trees. Then so now so the we Japan encounter the deer problems. That's why in addition so that they must pay the cost for protection from the damage by deers. So the some people have to buy the pest and the tube to protect the damage from damage by deers. So that's why so the for example the case of Sugi, the Japanese cedar plantation. So the by the 5th years replanting. So the local people have to pay the 1,260,000 yen per hectare. So it means so the about 133 million rupiah per hectare. And by harvesting, so the 2,310,000 yen, so about 244 million rupiah per hectare. So they must pay to establish the plantation. So this is very big. That's why so the management cost is very expensive in Japan. On the other hand, so the timber price is not sufficient to cover the cost. So in the 1980s, so the price was very good, and at the time, so the forest provides the sufficient income for the local people. So, but after so the price decreasing so far, and 2020, so the price of hinoki is 7,137 yen, and sugi is only 3,200 yen. So the about so the 1/8. So now so the price is not good. So it means so the price current timber not sufficient to cover the cost after establishment of plantation. So this is a picture from the Gunung-Kidul district. So during my field research, so I met one elder woman, and so she just returned from forest after cutting. And in Indonesia, so many farmers still use the grass for the food of livestock, pakan ternak. So they give the grass cutting in the forest for their livestock, like a cow and goat. But in Japan, so Japan also serves. So in Japan, grass was the important resources for farmers. That's why so the farmers often went to the forest and cut grass and used for the fertilizer for their agriculture. So grass was important resources for farmers' life. So according to the Sundarins, so the historical livelihood mood is a change in association with forest use. So it means so that in Japan, so that before a high economic growth period between the 1954 and 1973, so grass as local people used the grass as fuel for their livelihood. But after the high economic growth period, so the local people started using the chemical fertilizers and imported food. And now, of course, they also started using the gas. So it means so the meaning of the weeding has changed so far. So in the past, so the meaning of weeding is important. The grass is important resource agriculture. But now, so the grass in forest area is huge burden and cost in forest management. So the meaning changed so far. Also now, so that many people that live in the city area in Japan, so they moved from the rural area and the city areas. And I have the data until the 2000, but I guess so now, so number is higher. But in the 2000, about 24% of forest owner live in the city area, so outside of village. So that's why, so the sometimes so in rural areas, the private forests are poorly managed, so not appropriately. So that's why, so some forest owners don't do the thinning and the grass cutting. So that's why, so it degraded the private forest in Japan. And recently, so we have some problems of the abandoned private forest after clear cutting. So this is also a problem. So to address this problem, so now Japan, recently Japan enacted the forest management law in the 2090, and to achieve the both growth of forestry industry and the appropriate management of the private forest. So this law restricts the little private property right of forest owner. So if forest owner don't manage their forest appropriately, so they this law restrict regulate their private. Also now, so from the April to 2024, so next year, so Japan introduced the forest environment. So the Japan collects the tax from the all citizens of Japan. Also now, so that we have the natural disaster. So today also, so yesterday also, encountered the torrential rain in the Tottori and Kyoto. So this is also the now so big challenge in forest management in Japan. So now so I want to wrap up my lecture. So maybe I stay in Yogyakarta until the end of this summer course. So my major is social forestry, and now so I comparing the social forestry between the Japan. That's why if students are interested in the topic, so I can discuss after this class. And so this is my conclusion of my lecture today. So this year, so the topic of our course 2023 is managing forestry, landscapes, and forest dependent community to bridge the future, learning across a government regime. So the faculty of forestry make the topic for this. So I think so we have the different today. So the student coming from the various countries, and we have the different political economic system, but we have the forest management. So that's why so the compare across the countries are very interesting as a risk. Also, the interactive learning is essential to bridge our futures. So this is about conclusion of my lecture. So thank you very much for your kind attention. So any question or comments? Welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Ka. So we can directly move to the session. Is there any question?
Okay, my name is Do. I'm from Thailand. My major is social forestry. And I want to say that in Thailand, we also have the Yaki Hato. Yes, we also have in of Thailand. And I want to ask you, some people said maybe traditional culture is deforestation, and in Thailand we have we have the two sides. So is the one side is the conserve the forest, only forest, tree and wildlife. But is the other side is the talk about people, community near forest. And we have I want to know how to explain the both of side to find the middle point to manage forest and people. Yes, is that my question? Can you understand me?
Thank you very much. Oh, nice question. Oh, yeah. Yeah, slash and burning agriculture. When I was a student, a topic was very controversial. Because of the some the governmental staff and scientists criticize the local people who did the slash and burning agriculture. So at the time, so the sometimes so the slash and agriculture were regarded as one of the drivers of deforestation. But after that, so we have conducted many research in Indonesia, Thailand, many Southeast Asian countries, and Africa, and South the Americas. Also, we have the very result accumulation of the research from the all over the world. And now so that we understand so the traditional slash and burning agriculture is the sustainable agriculture. So because of the local people know the indigenous knowledge, traditional knowledge to use and manage the forest resources in sustainable way. So that now so we know it. But on the other hand, so that we also must consider so that if they do the same agriculture, same slash and burning agriculture, but if their environment have been changed, so sometimes so the slash and burning agriculture becomes unsustainable. For example, so in Sumatra, so the local people in Sumatra conduct the slash and burning agriculture. In the past, their agriculture were sustainable. But so now, so there are so many the large scale agricultural plantation. The peatland were have been dried out to establish a plantation. That's why they do the same things. But sometimes it caused the huge fires. So it means if the environment have been changed, so the agriculture the burning agriculture may become the unsustainable. Also, now so some people coming from outside of village. So, for example, in Kalimantan, there are so many people coming from outside of Kalimantan, and they also do the agriculture. But compared the traditional agriculture by local people of Kalimantan, so their agriculture are like more incentives. So it means so that so when we discuss the slash agriculture, so that there are so many types of the agriculture. So we should discuss carefully.
Thank you.
Hello, sir. You have discussed that a large portion of sorry, I have to introduce myself first. I'm Vine from the Philippines. In the Philippines, there's a large portion of the forest that is state owned, and they prioritize conservation and protection. While in Japan, I've seen your presentation that a large portion of your forest land is privatized or owned by private entities. So, in your opinion, sir, or what do you call this? What is the rationale of Japanese government in allowing a large portion of your forest to be owned by private entities, which is some of the countries doesn't do because they want the state to own the land, not the private entities. So, what is the reasoning behind that, sir?
Can you repeat the point of question?
Okay. Why is Japanese government allowed the private ownership of forest lands? It's like a large portion of your forest is owned by private, not by the government. Why did they do that, sir?
Thank you very much. So I skipped this, right? So this is a history of Japan. So from the after the end of Edo government. So at the time, so there are many samurai people in Japan. So after that, so the Japan established a modern government called Meiji government. So at the time, so that we did the land tax reforms between the 1873 to the 1881. At the time, so the government do this land tax reform to establish the modern ownership. It means so that one owner for one land. And so for the paddy field and housing land, so that it was relatively easy to identify the owners. But in the forest areas, wilderness areas, so sometimes it's difficult to identify the owner who because the forests were held by the village or the communal resources. So this is like a chart for the division into the state and non-state forests from the 1985. So firstly, so the forest, the wilderness areas were divided into the state forest and non-state forest. And non-state forests are further divided into the private-owned forest and the forest held by the villagers. So the communal forest. So many the local people had to prove the forest is not state-owned land in the forest held of the village. So it means that, but they often did not have the explicit evidence, like so the land certificate or so the ownership. So it is very difficult to show our forest. So the many forests were many the private forests held by village art or incorporate into the state forest. This is a like history of Japan. So, but so the about 60% of forests are maybe so the local people can express so these are our forests. So that's why so Japan still have the 60% forest. But this is also like a history. So when the end of the Edo government, so the Japan divided into the two groups, the modern government party and the old government party, and they fight in Japan. So finally, so the modern government party won. That's why so the area managed by the old government party, so many forests were incorporated into state or the northern parts. The south part of the many private forests, but the north part, there's many the state. So I think so. Philippines also have the history of the land ownership. So it is a very interesting. I'm very interested how so the Philippine government established the current ownership. Why so the many forests are belonging to the it is very interesting.
Thank you so much for your clarification, sir.
Good evening, Fujiwara Sensei. My name is Hafiz. My question is, Malaysia has its own plantation, Indonesia has its own plantation, and Japan also has its own plantation. Each of these plantation has their own changes. For example, I saw in your slides earlier, Japan plantation has deer attack. For example, in Malaysia plantation, there would be no deer at all because the deer would be eaten by the local. They will hunt the deer and they would be eaten. And another example of the challenges in Malaysia plantation is there would be illegal logging, problems such as illegal logging. So I want to ask, what's your opinion on this? Like, would you say the social community in Japan is better than some, or would you say the government enforcement is better than some government enforcement? What's your opinion on this?
Thank you very much for nice question. I think so. Yeah, how to say? Yeah, it is very difficult to answer. So which one is better? But yeah, collaboration is important. So yeah, because of the how to say in Japan, so recently illegal is one of the problem in forest management in the south parts. Because now so the Japan has the many the wooden biomass power plant, and so that they need the fuel for the forest. That's why so the sometimes the harvester cut the trees in the private forest owned by the other owners. So now so the Japan also has illegal logging problems. But yeah, I think so both have the advantage and disadvantage. So but yeah, my major is social forestry, and I think so that people have the knowledge to manage the forest properly. But so the people also need the support, the government and the other organization. Also, the government have the authority to make the regulation or law to promote sustainable forest management. That's why so the role of government and the people, society are so the different. But that's why so the collaboration between the state and the government, state and the people are important to promote sustainable. So this discussion is very nice and very important. Thank you for nice question.
Thank you, Fujiwara Sensei.
Thank you for your brilliant presentation, showing us the practice of forestry in Japan. Because generally in our mind, we have a different picture, just like my brother Abdul said in the beginning. So I was positively surprised to see the activities of forestry in that country. So my question is to know if there's still natural forests in the country, because in Europe, mostly all forests are just planted. All the natural forests have already been destroyed. So I want to know the case in Japan. And secondly, what about the wildlife biodiversity in Japan?
Natural forest. So in European countries, many are plantation.
The first question is to know if this natural forest in Japan.
So natural forest in Japan. So we have the about 60% of natural of Japan's forest is natural forest. Yeah, we have, and I think in the past, we have harvesting in natural forest, but also the production are conducting plantation. Also, of course, we have the many the species, including the endemic species. So today, I don't prepare the pictures, but we have the wild cat in the south part, the Idiomate Island, and Tsushima Island. Also, we have the black bird that cannot fly. in Okinawa Island. So also we have the black rabbit in the Amami Island. But unfortunately, so those species, some of the species are in danger of extinction due to the development. That's why now the government promote the conservation. So in my memory, now the 600 species are in danger of extinction, including the endemic species.
Hello, Prof. Taka. Thank you. My name is Cynthia. I want to know more about Satoyama. Can you explain to me more about Satoyama? Is it about traditional use of nature or what? And what do Japanese people to maintain the authenticity of nature in rural village? Thank you.
Satoyama.
Satoyama. Yeah. Satoyama in Japan. Can you describe the meaning of Satoyama?
Meaning of Satoyama. So thank you very much for the question. So Sato, how to say, village. So the Yama is the mountains. So village and the mountains. So meaning of the Satoyama is village and the mountain. The interesting is the biodiversity of Satoyama. If there are no disturbance, in Satoyama is. So that's why because of the people cut the grass in the Satoyama, so some grasshopper are coming to their field. So it means that if they stop the grass cutting, so disappearing the biodiversity in Sayama. So disturbance. Their ecology. Sato is nature in Satoyama. Sato is the Yama is the mountain.
Thank you, Ms.
Hello, Sensei. My name is Iman from UPM. In Malaysia, we have some flagship species. Maybe you guys know about the orangutan, about the Malayan tiger, Panthera tigris, and many other more. So Malaysia and maybe Southeast Asia country become a very good destination for illegal trading. And as far as I know, illegal trading, its ranking is maybe the first is of weapon illegal trading. Second one is drug. The third one is about this illegal trading. So that is what happened in Malaysia. They will keep the tiger and many flagship animal and sold it to Europe and many other more places. And I would like to know in Japan what is maybe the main species or the best species that would be the target for illegal trading. Yeah, based on your maybe experience, maybe you can share a little bit about it.
Thank you very much for the nice. In Japan, so we also have some wild animals, but I think one of the main target is insect. So I heard there are so many people loving the insect, including like a butterfly. So because of insects are some insects are very beautiful. So that's why some people, for example, in the Okinawa, with the tropical climate. So there are so many the unique and endemic insects. And they some people go to the Okinawa and to collect the insect. That's why so that I have the colleagues studying insect. So that's why according to him, so some the keep secret, even they discover the new species of insect because of they keep the species. Also, I also the like flowers, grass. So because in Yakushima Island, so there are some the unique species of like flowers. So there are some people collect such flowers. So target maybe insect and flowers.
Such as in Malaysia, usually they will export it to Europe and usually will export it to China also. So in that case, in Japan, where do they, export?
So the purpose is different. So private purpose. So they want to collect. They want to make the collection of insects. So that's why. So I think in Malaysia, so the purpose of illegal poaching is to money, so that they export to the other country and get money. But in Japan, so that I think so that the purpose of insect and or their personal reasons, so they want to keep in their house like a collection, make collection.
So Japanese people will take it and keep it in their house privately. Oh, that's okay. Thank you so much. That's all for me.
Hello, I'm Kia from Thailand, and I'm very interested in the sentence that you said represent the scenery of Japan, and I want to know the process of how do you access the assessment to gain this objective, to make this objective come true. Yeah, because I have an opportunity to work or to go to the Thai National Park, and some of the places we can identify that we are taking a picture from our country. Yeah, so how do you that you your assessment to have a sanitary of Japan for people to easily to identify? Yes.
Question is in terms of unique.
Excuse me?
Your question is in terms of. Your question is.
Sure. I want to know your assessment to have a to let people can able to identify that they are in Japan, like their sanitary, their national parks. They are in Japan national parks like that. Yeah.
National parks process of establishing national park. Your question. Okay. So national parks. So this is described by the Ministry of Environment, and the Ministry the commission to decide the national park. So I think the committee member composed of the various people, including the scholar, government staff, and maybe so private company. Also, the ministry have minister have the commission to decide the national park. So after hearing the opinion from the committee members, the finalists of government, the minister decide designate the area for the national parks. So today, so I don't prepare, but I have the maybe slide of the process of establishment of national park. So if you are interested in the process, so that I will share later. So.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. My name is Idia. From Makassar, Indonesia. So there is a presentation there is a private forest. So in Japan, can we buy a forest? Because in Indonesia, as I know, we just have agreement like pinjam ke kawasan hutan. It's agreement for borrow the forest, and we have the private sector needs a commitment for that. And when the private sector not fulfill the regulation from government, we need to pay like the tax of forest. So can we buy? That's it. Thank you.
I want to go. Your is about purchase.
Can we buy a forest?
By private, not state. Both for both state, only private.
Private forest.
Private forest. Okay. Thank you very much. So in terms of the buying and selling private forest in Japan freely, even the foreign companies, so they can buy the private forest in Japan, and actually, so some company already buy the private forest in Hokkaido area. Maybe so they want to develop, right? See, but in contrast, so in terms of farmland, farmland is strictly protected by the farmland law. So if we are not farmers, not buy the farm, but in terms of forest, private forest, so yes, we can buy. So you buy private forest in Japan.
Different regulation with Indonesia. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Prof. Taka, for this Q&A session. And we are before we end up this session, I have highlighted several notes. And the first one is about the difference between Indonesia and Japan forests. And they are vary from temperate, boreal, and subtropical. And then there are deeper classifications between Indonesia and Japan protection forests, such as, I think it's more detailed in Japan, where there is for erosion, and then for the water set, and then etc. And I'm so grateful that this discussion has a broad range of topic from national park, and then conservation, wildlife, illegal trading, and even insect. And then so we in the session we have or we receive a lot of knowledge during this session. Maybe that's the notes from me, and that's enough for me. Thank you for the attention of all the participants, and once again, thank you for Prof. Taka. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
So I will be until the end of this summer course. If you have questions, please come. So let's discuss after this class. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much for participants who has already made the interactive discussion, and also I very appreciate Professor Taka that has already made an interactive discussion. Also, I hope it can be motivates you to learn more about the forests in all over the world, and got so much insight about Japan.